Hey everyone, Backyard Farmer Pat here. Today is a super exciting day. We are going to talk about moringa. Yes, moringa. It's taken me 6 months to come and talk about moringa, and that was supposed to be one of the first things I talk about. So I actually have my little notebook today because moringa is such an incredible plant. It's actually considered probably the most nutritious plant on earth. It's considered a superfood. It's the one plant that has all nine amino acids that humans need to survive. Moringa is used throughout the world. It's used across, I think it originated in I think in India, but it's used across Africa, across India, and I'm sure in other countries and in other continents to fight malnutrition and also to purify water. Moringa is incredible. I actually have some written down in my handy dandy notebook some of the things that some of the benefits of moringa, because this is something that I've planted for probably the past year or two, and I always like to document what the benefits are, health benefits are for different things, because believe me, with my memory I can't keep everything straight in my head. So I'm just gonna touch on a few things about moringa, and then we're gonna talk about how I start my moringa seeds. We're gonna talk about how I use my moringa, and then we're gonna look at the different moringa plants I have in the garden. So let me tell you some of the benefits. And of course, I am not a doctor, so before you try anything new, always talk to your doctor or do your own research. But this is based on my research. If you Google moringa, or if you go on YouTube and watch videos on the benefits of moringa, how to eat moringa, how to use it on your hair, your skin, how to fight different diseases, you're gonna find 1,000 videos out there. But I'm just gonna touch on a few things of this. So it lowers blood sugar. Is said to be anti-tumor, so it's cancer prevention. It's good for the bones. It has a lot of calcium and phosphorus, so it fights osteoporosis. It protects the liver. It helps brain health. It reduces inflammation, and it prevents kidney issues. The list goes on and on. So for vitamins, those are just a few of the things that it helps with. If you Google, you're going to see a list of probably 30 or 40 different diseases or different things it helps with. One thing I can tell you, when I'm in the garden working, sometimes I just take a few moringa leaves and eat. It's really great for energy. As a matter of fact, I have to tell you a joke. Last night, I don't know what I was thinking. I took dried moringa leaves and I decided to make myself some tea before bed. And what was I thinking? I was literally up, wide awake. Normally, when I hit the bed at 9 o'clock, I'm out by 9:05. I can tell you 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, I was wide awake because I had moringa tea right before bed. It really energizes you, gives you natural energy without a whole lot of caffeine. Anyway, so that's enough for the benefits of it. For vitamins, it's packed in, first of all, this is packed in antioxidants. It has vitamins A, B1, B2, B3, BC, folate, vitamin C, calcium, potassium, iron, magnesium. The list goes on and on. It has phosphorus, it has zinc. It has so many benefits. It's supposed to be 7 times more vitamin C. What is it? 25 times more iron than spinach, 7 times more vitamin C than an orange, 15 times more potassium than bananas, and the list goes on and on. You guys have got to read about it. But enough about the benefits. Let's get to the planting. So I have here, so you guys know from the aloe vera videos that I did, where I made my shake after, that the way I love to have moringa is in my shake. I actually harvested a ton of moringa leaves. My trees are pretty small. My friend's tree is massive. It's almost like the size of an oak tree. It's massive. I've never seen a moringa tree that big. So I actually went to her house a few months ago, harvested a trunk full of leaves. I came home, spread them out, dried the leaves. All right, Bolty. All right, we hear you. I know you want to be on the video. Yes, so I dried all the leaves, and I actually blended up the leaves, and I used a dried powder. So every morning, when I make my shake, I just add a tablespoon of the moringa powder. You can see what it looks like here, right? I also have some leaves that when I harvested I also harvested some fresh leaves and some blossoms, and I wash them well, and I put them in Ziploc bags. So if I ever feel like doing a little stir fry, or if I ever want to blend fresh leaves instead of the dried powder, I also use it that way. Moringa has everything on the trees is edible. The leaves are edible. It has these long pods that look almost like pea pods. My friend's pods are like probably 2 feet long, but they literally look like a huge pea pod. And these are what the inside seeds, the seeds that are inside the pea pod. This is what they look like. You can zoom in. So this is what it looks like. So these pea pods, these are actually edible too. As a matter of fact, I read somewhere, I'm gonna eat one online because I'd never actually eaten this. But when I was doing my research on moringa, I read somewhere that when you eat the dried pea pods, it sounds like it's almost like a miracle fruit, where when you eat it, it tastes bitter at first, but then everything you drink after turns sweet. So I have to remember at the end of the video, I'm gonna try one of these dried pods to see. So moringa is a very versatile plant. It's very easy to plant. You can plant them from seed, which is really the best way to plant, or you can actually just break a branch, stick it in the ground, and it will grow. I have some in the garden planted from seed, and I have some that are planted from a branch. I want to show you either one. I had read online that the moringa seeds, they aren't very fertile for long. So I actually had a bunch of seeds from that same harvest on my counter for like several months, and I planted a couple around the side probably a month or two ago, and nothing happened. So I thought they were dead. So I had thrown away most of the other seeds that were in the pod. But then, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I decided, you know what? Let me do my kindergarten experiment and put a couple seeds in a cup in some water and see if they sprout. So come closer, I want to show you what happened. So this is an experiment that we used to do in Jamaica as children. This is from first grade, where we'd actually put a couple seeds in a cup. As a matter of fact, here's another one that I did. I actually did this with papaya seeds, and I just put a napkin in there, put a few seeds along the side, made sure the napkin was soaked with water. What happens is that the napkin actually sucks up the water, so the seeds stay moist. So my papaya seeds, it didn't work. Nothing has germinated for the papaya seeds yet. And I do find that my papaya seeds work best when I eat them fresh and plant them. So I did the same with my moringa seeds, and look at this. This is probably about 10 days. These two are moringa, and this is the most delicious pumpkin I've ever had. But because I literally scooped the pumpkin seeds out sometime last year and stuck them in a bag, I wasn't sure if they were still good. So before, the most frustrating thing to do is to plant something and wait for weeks or wait for months and not even sure if it's gonna grow. So this is a good way to test these seeds out. So I wanted to see, if you come a little closer and zoom in, I wanted to see what this looks like closer up. So here you can see, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Here you can see I stuck a moringa seed in the tissue along with some water. Oops, sorry, some water, and the tissue is very, very wet. And look at this. I actually have a full, oh my gosh, look at the size of that root. This is like 10 days in the water. Look at that moringa. So here's a moringa plant. Here's one. Here is, oh my goodness, my pumpkin. My pumpkin. You can still see the pumpkin seed at the end of it. But here's my pumpkin. And these are, I'm going to transplant these out. Oh my, look at the size of this, guys. This is a great way to catch it. So I'm going to plant this pumpkin. I didn't plan on planting a pumpkin, but I mean, look how great he looks. I'm going to plant that one. And it looks like every one of my moringas germinated. So I have 1, 2, 3 moringas. I really wasn't sure if this was going to work because the ones I planted straight in the ground did not germinate. But then after when I researched, I saw that it's better to soak the moringa seeds overnight at least. I actually just stuck them in the water the old-fashioned way, like what I did. There's one more seed here that didn't germinate. So there's one that didn't germinate, but that's pretty good though. I have a 66% germination rate. 2 out of 3 of them germinated. So that's perfect. And the one pumpkin seed I added germinated. So this is one way to do it. You can get moringa seeds on Amazon. You can just look for organic moringa seeds. You can get the bag of moringa seeds and plant them yourself. I would suggest, since this worked for me, I would suggest that you can actually soak them in the water first. Either soak them overnight, which I see a lot of people do, and then plant them, or do what I did. Soak them until they actually sprout and then transfer them. Alright, so let's go look at my actual moringa trees. So here are my moringa trees that I have. Of course, because these are in pots, they are much smaller than if I had actually planted them in the ground. They would have been way bigger than now. This tree is actually less than a year old. This one was, I got this one from a friend. It was probably like 3 or 4 inches tall in October. And now you can see how big it is. And it's actually blossoming. My moringa trees that are in the, I have a couple moringa trees around the side where you see me plant my vegetables. But they're planted in shade and they don't like the shade, so those haven't even blossomed. Those are very tall and lanky and skinny. What I'd actually done last year was chop them in two to try and get them to thicken up. I chopped them in two, they grew back, and this one is actually one of the branches that I chopped that I stuck in the ground. You can see here where this is a stump that I stuck in the ground, and all of this is new growth. So with moringas, you can literally just take the leaves and eat them straight like this, like when I'm working in the garden. It doesn't taste that much, tastes like grass. You can eat them like this, or you can just pop the branches off and harvest the leaves and stick them in the blender. Very easy. It's very easy, very nutritious. I'm going to use this as mulch for this plant. Alright, so let's go. One more thing to show you. Actually, I actually have 2 things to show you, not one thing. I'm gonna open up one of these moringa seeds, and I'm gonna taste it and show you what it tastes like. Or tell you what it tastes like, and I'm gonna try that experiment they talked about where they eat the seed and then drink water. I'm gonna tell you if it really works, if it's really sweet, and then we're gonna plant these out. Moringa likes well-drained soil. They like, as a matter of fact, they like sandy soil. Think about it, they grow all over Africa, India, in places which don't have a lot of water or irrigation. So they actually are very, very drought hardy. So we're gonna plant these seedlings out, but first, let's try one of these seeds. So you see that the moringa seed has almost like a papery thing around it when it's dry. When it's green, you can look up the recipes. I've never had it, the green ones, and I've never had the pod. They literally slice up the pod just like how you slice up string beans, and they cook them in stews and everything. But when it's dried, when it's dried, people actually use it as popcorn. I saw a recipe online where you can add them in a layer of like hot oil and cover it up, and it will pop like popcorn. I haven't tried that, but today we're gonna try the dry seed for the first time. So all right, so they said if it's white, it's good. If it's gray, throw it away. So it's nice and white. Let's see. So this is what it looks like inside the seed. Let's take off the shell. So this is what it looks like when I open the shell. It's like opening a peanut or something. So let's see what it tastes like. All right, Lord help me, Lord. Okay, I'm gonna try it. It's edible. It's edible. Don't worry. Everything is edible. The seeds are edible. The flowers are edible. So I'm not doing anything crazy. For the seeds, it's recommended you don't eat more than 3 to 10 per day. These are extremely packed in nutrients. The leaves are the most nutritious, but so are these. So let's try it. It kind of has a nut kind of flavor. What kind of nut does it taste like? It tastes almost like, wow. So it tastes almost like eating like a soft nut, like not a crunchy nut. Oh my gosh. And then now it tastes like my mouth is full of like a sweetener. It tastes almost like like my mouth is full of sugar now. That's kind of weird. Hold on. Wow, it's true. So when you bite it at first, you don't taste anything. It tastes like a nut, kind of like a nutty, but instantly it's like a very sweet taste. I don't like artificial sweeteners. It tastes almost like, but I've tasted like saccharin or what do I call it? Not NutraSweet. I don't even know what it's called, but it's super sweet. That's really strange. So it's like the miracle fruit, but I think this is even sweeter than the miracle fruit. So I can see where these would be nice, probably if you blend it in the like in a blender, because it really does have a very sweet taste after. All right, so let's go ahead and plant these out. Wow, that was a surprise. Hold on. I mean, it was a pleasant surprise. My mouth is very sweet right now. I'm just not used to a lot of sugar, and it's very sweet, which is very surprising to me. All right, so let's go plant these babies out. Because I plan on, I'm gonna do it in separate. So because these roots are already so fully formed, I want to make sure I don't damage the roots when I plant them in. So I'm gonna make the hole in the soil. Come and look. This soil is some potting soil that I had before. It's extremely light, so I'm making a very deep hole so I'm not interrupting the root system. I'm putting this in and I'm gently covering it up. Then I'll add some water. Doing the same here, making a deep hole so I don't hurt the root. Putting this in. Can you see? I'm putting this in and I'm just gently covering it up. Same thing with my pumpkin. I'm probably gonna gift this pumpkin to my mom or someone else because I really don't have space for pumpkin. I'll probably give these 2 moringas also. So if my friends are watching and you want a moringa, it's yours. It is yours. You can have it. All right, so as simple as that. I can tell you this pumpkin is gonna be massive in no time, so I need to get it to a ride home. It's still very young. You can see it still has a seed in. This moringa, if transplanted to the ground, look how healthy they are. Those are gonna do extremely well. So guys, thanks again for watching this episode. Please hit like, subscribe, and share this video. It really does help. From what I understand, it really does help YouTube know whose videos to share. We need to spread the word about food like this, moringa. We can change the world. We can do our part of fight malnutrition by sharing these videos, by sharing these seeds, by sharing this food, and you can change everything in your family's health by growing these foods. So till next time, stay safe. All you guys up north with all that snow, please stay safe, stay inside. Till next time, God bless. Bye.